So I went to Sierra Leone primarily to feed back to a conference about the results of a trial we've done on a project called 2YoungLives, which is a mentoring scheme for under 18-year-olds in Sierra Leone. So that's Magenda feeding back, and we showed that for girls that were mentored in the sites where there was mentoring, they had half the risk of stillbirth or neonatal death than girls in the other group. Yeah. If you were actually mentored, rather than just living in the town, you had a quarter of the risk of a stillbirth. The professor from King's who runs the whole group, because it's a group from King's College London, he's an expert on maternal health research, and he spoke after us and said he couldn't overstate the importance of these findings. How you hardly ever come across an intervention which can actually show that it reduces mortality. So next slide, please. This is the team. So on the end is Mohammed. He's not really part of the 2YoungLives team, but if you were to substitute my colleague Christina from King's, that's the team that's been running 2YoungLives. I would have photoshopped it, but I wouldn't have looked really good. It's really, we've been singing about the grace of God. It's by God's grace that we've gone step by step, tiny step by tiny step from about 8 or 9 years ago, and just try to hear God and do the next thing. He's done some amazing things. One of the first Tuesday prayers where he prayed for us, he talked about building a team. And this is our local team. And we went from training 3 mentors in 2017 to now having 12 teams of mentors, around 60 mentors altogether. We've mentored 650 girls, none of whom have died. And if I could tell you some of the stories about how God has done that, you could see that this is like a work of the grace of God. Next slide, please. It's not only about the 2YoungLives team, because God loves teams so much that he wouldn't just do like one little team. He's set us within this huge team from King's College London. And here you can see the first thing we did as a team last week was to go to LifeLine compound and go and visit the LifeLine people, because that's so important to us as a bigger LifeLine team, a bigger King's team. So this is a team who leads the world in research into pre-eclampsia, which is a disease of pregnancy that in Sierra Leone kills a lot of women and a lot of babies. So they're currently running 2 new projects that rely really heavily on community engagement, and they recognise that Prince and the LMP team are a central and essential part of their team, and their expertise is deeply valued. Prince is actually on the National Institute of Health and Care Research Global Panel for Community Engagement. And so you can see that's Professor Shennan and Prince, who have become very good, close working colleagues and friends, just talking about the new projects. Next slide, please. And isn't God wonderful in his economy? The last thing I want to thank him for is the timing of Mary's birth. So the end of her pregnancy was very difficult and complicated, but just at the right time, 8 obstetricians arrived from King's that all knew her. And one particular friend of Mary and Prince's really helped to make the way for her to have a very safe care. And I just wanted to show you this beautiful photo, but also just to kind of show you the level of love and friendship and respect there is for Prince within the wider King's team. And just want to really thank God for that provision for them, but also they are a huge provision for that team. And what God's doing through the work of the King's team and the 2YoungLives team and the LifeLine team is just a wonderful thing to be part of. Thank you.